Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is February the 7th, February the 7th, 2024, and today the topic is God-fidence. Yes, God-fidence, guys. Happy Wednesday. Yes, happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope that you guys had a great Tuesday. Mine was just fine. Yeah, mine was good overall, man. It's the mid day of the week and it's gonna be a busy one. I mean, I got quite a few conversations to have. Film an episode of GSL Talk Show tonight. The Miracle Lab will be kicking back off with Mountain West Kids. So yeah, man, it's a pretty busy and eventful day coming today. But yeah, man, I hope that you guys had a great day yesterday. For me, yesterday, the main thing was had a few conversations, chit chatted with my dating coach and client. Um, Refilmed the juice. Like I still can't believe that I did a whole episode for myself yesterday. But yeah, so that was something that stood out yesterday. Outside of that, I got rest. Mm, Nothing else of significance, I guess I could share. At least that's coming to my mind. So let's go ahead and get into this conversation about Godfidence. All right. So I woke up this morning around 3:26, I believe. What was it, 36? Must have been 26. But anyway, one of those. I woke up this morning a little bit early, made a note of it and everything like that. I think it was 36. But anyway, um, and so from there, I ended up chit chatting with my hubby. Right? We were just talking about a bunch of things. And then um, ultimately I was like, I need to listen to the prayer meditation. Are you going to do it with me? And so he did. And so we listened to today's prayer and meditation, which was good and everything like that. And then not long after that, I noticed the word confidence was being used because one of the verses this morning that I saw when I looked up 326 or 336, whichever one it was, um, there was a verse that had confidence in it. And then I noticed that the prayer meditation also had confidence in its title. So I'm like, okay, confidence. Let me go deeper about this word and everything. And I did. Then I had another conversation with my husband because I guess he got in the mood to chit chat and debate. So we were chit chatting about some things he was seeing and my perspective of it and whatnot. And then after I did all of that and tried to clear my mind once again, I came back to confidence and came back to going deeper about that. But just as I was getting ready to write my notes down, I was getting ready to write down confidence, and that's when Godfidence came into my heart and mind. I was like, oh yeah. So I started going deeper about that, and I ended up just kind of finding, I guess, some quote unquote definitions and things to think about when we think about Godfidence, and obviously some verses and whatnot that stood out to me. So let me go ahead and share with you guys this definition that I found. Of course, it's not like a formal definition, but I feel like it's good to help us understand the word. It says, Confidence is trusting God is in control and that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Confidence is trusting that all things, even difficult and painful things, can work together for good if we tune into the Spirit who is at work in us. So yeah, I mean, that's a great definition. I feel like to at least establish this word confidence. Obviously it's a play off of confidence, and I was going to write down the definition of confidence, but if that's something you all need to look into, you guys can just Google and look at that, into that on your own. Because again, even if I took the route of talking about confidence today, um, it still would have ultimately probably went back to God. So I mean, I figured let's just go ahead and say confidence and focus on that at this time. But we'll see. Maybe the Lord want me to talk about confidence in the future at some point. Here's another thing I came across when looking into confidence. And it was this site that kind of had like a article that was pretty much breaking down ways to get confidence. Um, but for some reason, that site, every time I tried to click the link, it just took so long. And then I tried to be patient and just click the link and leave it alone and work on something else and came back and it was like, this website is it took too long, da da da. It said it itself. So I didn't get a chance to get like that particular article and look at all the things that they had as ways to build up confidence, or in particular, let me see, it was supposed to be, let me see, how to get answer the question of how to get confidence. But I did come across another article, and even though it's short and sweet, this is a way that they say it to get confidence. It says fueling your faith and building a relationship with God. So again, the more that you get into the Word, the more that you build your relationship with God, the more confidence that you can have in God. The more that you can live a God-fident life. So I'm going to share some verses today that was standing out to me. So I went to openbible.info. It's funny, I plugged in confidence all together as one word, and it was like, there's no verses. Then I think I looked it up again, or maybe I looked up confidence in God, and then some verses was standing out to me when I looked up that. And one of the first ones was the one that I came across this morning. So y'all can confirm whether this verse is correct or not, whether I wrote it down right. I wrote down Proverbs 3:26. Like I said, I can't remember if I woke up at 36 or 26, but I know this is definitely the verse that I came across that had confidence in it that led to me, doing this today. But anywho, um, it says, "For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught." So again, when I saw that this morning, I couldn't help but think about the prayer meditation I listened to, and I'm like, oh, it had. Wait, I just saw confident multiple times at this point. And I believe that God wants us to have that confidence in Him. He wants us to lean and depend on Him. He wants us to trust Him, talk to Him, all those different things. And of course, we got to humble ourselves to be able to do that. We got to, again, not lean in our own understanding to be able to do that and whatnot as well. But I mean, there's some benefits to doing it, because as it says here, He will keep us or our foot from being caught. And so, we know that there's a lot of things that we can go through in life that, obviously can, try to keep us down, and things of that nature. But you know, I feel like it's a beautiful thing to again lean and depend on the Lord and have confidence in Him and things like that. I'm gonna share with you guys another verse, but I just remembered another great thing that happened yesterday, and that is I reconnected with an old friend, and I actually interviewed her and her husband for the talk show. And even that, like hearing, what God has been doing in her life and what God has been doing with them as a couple, and, as individuals and whatnot as well, all that is a beautiful thing. And so, I don't know if that correlates to this conversation about having confidence, but I could see how they had confidence as a couple, they had confidence as individuals. And, I'm trying to exercise this too. So, you're not alone, I guess what I'm saying. Um, Ultimately, again, if you are, going through tests and trials and things like that, and you need to build this up, then I say again, getting into God's word is one of the main ways we can do this. I wish that article came up, because I think it would have came up with a lot of other lists. But what you guys can do is Google those things on your own. Just Google the word confidence and see what comes up for you if you feel led to go deeper about that. But here's another verse. It's Hebrews 13:6. It says, "So we can confidently say, the Lord is my helper. I will not fear. What can man do to me?" Like, can we imagine like living a life like that, where we're like, what, at the end of the day, what can man do to me? What can you do to me? What can this job, whatever the case may be, if we walked around with true confidence, right, or confidence in God, then, again, we would live a much different life. I mean, I guess to speak on a little bit of what my husband was bringing to the table this morning, I guess he was kind of, I guess disappointed in fellow believers and how they were handling a certain person that I guess has a certain status, and I guess that person fell short. Let's just put it like that. They fell short in the public eye, and I guess people had things to say, and he didn't like that. Again, believers are pointing the finger and things of that nature, or quote unquote judging, which I know a lot of people take issue with. Now, again, y'all know, I think y'all should know at least how I feel about it. So I'm not gonna go too deep about all of that. But I will say again, according to the word, we can have righteous judgment. I also think that there's something in like who you are to that person matters. Like, again, a mentor or something can come to that person and pull them aside and handle that situation versus, again, just some random person on social media. But anyway, without that being said, I guess I'm bringing it up because, again, when I'm sitting here thinking about, again, the issues of life, or the fact that, again, a lot of things, people or whatever, your situation can try to bring you down. But if we start to have confidence in the Lord, and, understanding that, again, like that definition was saying, that even when something is difficult or painful, that all of those things are going to work together for our good, um, and we can have confidence in God enough to know that, then it shouldn't really matter again what someone else say or do to you. At the end of the day, again, you know where your confidence lies. And so, just another example there. Here's another verse. It's Psalms 20:7. It says, "Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God." I mean, of course, we can go deeper and see what other context is centered around that, but I don't know. It just really stood out to me looking at that verse this morning because, again, we could put our faith and trust in all kinds of things, whether it's chariots, horses, our careers, our family, whatever. Like we put so much confidence in all of those things. And for some reason, we hesitate on putting confidence in the one who created us and who created all things. And I get it. That can be a difficult thing. We're like, well, we can't see God and we don't know. And, all of that stuff is up, I guess, in the air and things because we have free will to do and think as we please. But again, as somebody that is putting my faith and trust in the Lord and seeing Him working in my life, more and more I do that. I mean, I'm just one person with the testimony example, but I know there's many more people outside of me that has experienced God working in their lives, and so um, yeah, I'm just saying, like, before we put our faith and trust in man or any other thing, I think it behooves us to challenge ourselves to put our faith and trust in the Lord. I think I got one more verse, y'all, and that's Proverbs 14:26. It says, "In the fear of the Lord are excuse me, in the fear of the Lord, one has strong confidence, and his children will have refuge." Again, you having confidence in the Lord is not just only going to affect you, it affects you and your circle of influence, your children, your, again, home, community. It goes on and on and on and on. So, I hope that you're encouraged and inspired to if you're not there yet, if you're in a place where, man, I don't necessarily have that much confidence in the Lord, and I hope that you are encouraged and inspired to at least seek that out and incorporate that into your life. And if you're already walking it, then great. Then I hope that this builds in your faith and trust in the Lord to continue that walk. Don't get weary in well doing. Don't get discouraged by other people. Don't get discouraged by any of the things, the difficult and painful things that we can go through in life, exercise that confidence. So then you can continue to have an impact on your family, and the rest of your community. And that's the juice, y'all. That is ultimately the juice this morning. In the Go Deeper section, I just put my favorite verses. Yes, my personal faves. So if you're interested in seeing those or whatever the case may be, check out the Go Deeper section because that's the only verse I put in there for y'all this morning. But the Bible verse of today is Hebrews 6:10. It says, "For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister." So there you go. That's another little confirmation. Hopefully that will encourage you and inspire you that he has not forgotten about you. And you can be confident that he will take care of you. And and that all things work together for your good. So that's it, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. Thank you to the people that was tuning in live. I hope that, again, this conversation encouraged you and inspired you to either build that confidence or get that confidence in the Lord. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times we got to get confidence and whatnot in ourselves and whatnot as well. But I mean, let's start with the first things first. Let's get confidence in the Lord, and then ultimately, I believe that that'll help us get confidence in to walk in the things that He has us to do. Like I said, it was such an amazing thing to chit chat with my homegirl, and to hear, again, how God had been working in her and her husband's life, and um, I mean, and on one hand, I know she was saying that, oh, I feel like he, has found his passion. He's found his, feeling like he's walking in his purpose, and I'm still trying to figure that out and things of that nature. But again, once you get on that path of trusting the Lord, He'll start to show you, if you don't know already, He'll start to show you those gifts and talents and whatnot that you have, so you can be confident in, the things that He's created us to do. So, all right, y'all. I will be on y'all's time. Y'all have a wonderful Wednesday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye.